All right, pop, 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 another server drop. Welcome back to my video series on hacking, and we're going to talk today about Sql Injection. Sql Injection is one of the #1 attacks in the world, usually closely followed by cross-site scripting. So it's a pretty predominant thing because information is held in databases. What information do you may ask? Well, things like debit card numbers and usernames, passwords, emails, social security numbers, all kinds of goodies. And whoever holds information holds power. So information is absolutely king. So that's what we're looking to go ahead and try to compromise is with these databases. Now with databases, there's a variety of different types out there. You have ones that are like MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle SQL, PostgreSQL, all kinds of different ones. We're just going to be focusing on just a generic explanation of SQL today and a typical SQL query to be able to do a particular attack. The idea is to get it to respond with a true value on this login form and log us in. Now we don't have an account here on this Batiliday site that we're on, and we're just approaching it from a bad guy's perspective, a hacker's perspective, and we see a name and a password, and we want to go ahead and try to see if we can manipulate the database. Typically, these web pages will have a 3-tier or n-tier architecture, where you have a front-end web form like you're looking at, and then a middle logic tier that will take the information that you pass it and convert it into a SQL type of query that the back-end database will respond to. And if the database says here, or if the logic tier says here is the name that's been entered, see if it's true in the database, and if the database says true, then we're good to go, and it lets us log in, and everybody's happy, happy, happy. So in this particular case, let me go ahead and give you a short explanation of a query. This will be an example of a query. You could say something to the effect of select asterisk from, and then we'll say users, and we'll say where username equals Ray and password equals Wingnut. Now in this case here, these are legitimate statements, and the single quotes separate or wrap around values. The select is telling me to go ahead and pull some information from the users table where the username portion or column or row has the value of Ray, but then the conditional statement says also the password has to equal Wingnut. In other words, it can't just be this one that's true. Both that and this have to be true. The only time that wouldn't have to be that way is if I change this to the word or. That way, one or the other has to be true. So in this case, that's kind of what we're looking for. Now, if we were to come back here and we were to go ahead and do one of those single quotes, which is a legitimate SQL query, now it's asking for a name. Now, unless you're Prince, right, rest in peace, you're not going to have a symbol for a name. So when you have these forms, basically the developer saying, hey player, put in alphabet letters for your name. So us putting a single quote in here should throw it into a little bit of a fit. So we'll click login, and what shouldn't happen with a good administrator is it should not display the error on screen for the end user. But this one happens to do that because it's an insecure web application. So in this case, it's telling us select from, and now we see the name of the table here, accounts, where username equals, and they'll have 3 single quotes. So essentially what's happening is, when you look at it here, it's like I took away this value, and I took away this value, and it's saying in this case here that this right here is legitimate because it has a beginning single quote and an ending single quote. But once I throw this in, that bad boy right there, SQL goes, hey player, what the heck is going on here, man? Can't have 3 single quotes. You need to have an extra one. We need to have an extra one right there, right, at the beginning and end. And then when I do my dash dash, or what I'm going to do a little bit later on, dash dash space, I can also comment out this whole section altogether. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I come back down here and I look under the name box and I say, all right, I know the database is looking for some sort of true statement. So what I can say is I can give it a single quote to throw it into its little fit, and then I can say or to give another conditional expression, and I can say 1 equals 1. Now does 1 always equal 1? Yes. In mathematics, 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2, 3 equals 3, and so on and so forth. and then I can put a dash space at the end of it, and that will basically comment out the password section. So essentially, what I'm doing here is I'm saying that username is cool, sure, that's good, or true. So I'm giving the database these conditions. I'm saying here's the username, nothing, single quote, or true. And I want it to return true, so that's why I'm throwing it at it like that. So let's log in, and you'll notice up here, pop, 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 another server drop. Logged in as admin, life is good, everybody's happy, except for the administrator. In this case here, the reason why we're as the admin, because more than likely it's the first account that's in the database. Because when you do it in this manner, it's kind of just throwing it at it and saying, give me the first account, or let me log in as the first account that's in the database. Now you can also pick a particular person, which I happen to know there's a user account called Jeremy on this, and we can always go ahead and try to log in as him. Now in this case, the password is all masked out, and I can't really see what I'm typing. Plus, right about there is my limit. So I need to change this a little bit to do this statement. So most maybe not know that you can right click on a form. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, and go to inspect element and check this out. Where it says input type equals password, I can change that to the word text. Pop, just like that. Size equals 20. I can change that bad boy to 200, just like so. Change the 20 over here to 200 as well. And check this out. Look at this. See that password box now? That's what I'm talking about, players. Good stuff. Now look at here. See? Now I can type in as well and see what I'm typing in. So I'll say single quote or, and this time I'll give it a conditional expression, so we'll wrap it in parentheses because I'll have multiple conditions here. I'll say or 1 equals 1. There's my true statement. And then I'll say and. So in other words, both the thing on the left and the thing on the right have to be true. And I'll say and username must equal Jeremy. Let's see, like that. Okay, so I'm giving the conditional statement. I'm saying true, and don't forget we also need the username whose name is Jeremy in this account. So let's go ahead and try to log in over here. And pop, 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 another server drop. There's Jeremy. We're logged in as him, and life is good. So once again, yet another SQL injection, this time being more granular and logging in directly as Jeremy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short little SQL injection introduction. We're going to do more videos on SQL injection as well, and we're going to do some war games in future videos that will demonstrate more SQL injection. Also, we're going to do a video on where we actually do input validation to try to correct it. And then we'll show you a way to bypass that as well, so good times will ensue. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure you guys watch for more videos, both on the YouTube channel and also on the Tumblr site and the regular site as well. And we'll see you guys on another day.